nerd talk. We're about to read
Alrighty. Hello, everyone. I realize I don't have my RWBYtuber up. Yay!
Uh-oh.
I'll get him right up. Give me a moment here. There he is. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Bad Fanfiction Night. I am your host, RWBY McNeil. Joining me, as always, is the wonderful Twilight Guardian.
Hello.
Tonight, we are starting a brand new fanfiction, a brand new dive into insanity, otherwise known as RWBY Project Alpha. For those of you who are not familiar, because I see some confusion a little bit in the chat, no, this is not a crossover with Sword Art Online. However, it does have a lot of OC's Donut Steel. So, you know, our good friend, Billy Donuts, is perfectly suited for this.
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
But yes, so we thought, you know, what would be the best way to exemplify what, you know, an overpowered OC, and I thought Kirito would be suitable. The thumbnail may change and alternate as we get a better picture of who's in this story, because I honestly do not know. I have not read any of this at all. This was on recommendation to us. So...
yeah.
It would have been nice to have Kirito versus RWBY.
Oh, dude, I don't want to see that. That would just be boring.
No, see,
that's the whole point. It'd be bad.
They'd be best friends.
I did read like part of this one SAO RWBY crossover fic that was actually like pretty cool.
X to doubt.
Yeah, but we don't care about cool.
Leo Medusa 39 says...
This is a cool fanfiction night.
Yeah, Leo Medusa says...
I forgot where I am.
No, this is early, but I just wanted to say thank you to Celtic for turning me on to Signalis, and for letting me be weird. Much love. Well, we love you right back, man, and I'm happy you're enjoying Signalis. It's such a fascinating little game.
Space lesbians.
Really, really hope Roseworks does more games. That felt like such a bright flash of a project, though, so I don't know if they're going to be able to do it like you know, strike lightning twice there. It's not a crossover. No, it's not. It was just the best representation I had. Don't worry, future thumbnails will be better updated. I am almost assured of that.
Lightning, get on it.
It's just because Kirito is Jesus Kun. That's it.
Yeah. Now, unlike...
You expect me to get on it? I haven't read the fic yet.
Well, yeah, I would have asked him, but I didn't want to spoil him. I want his raw reaction as well, because he has some great insights. And also, it's funnier if he just throws these shit out at us at late.
You know, yeah, we want proper repeat of the fucking Hunchback.
Okay, I'm gonna have to ask about that after stream.
But yes, so yes, not a crossover, and unlike the last one, I don't know exactly how long this is going to be, in terms of like chapter length. Now it is, I think we did the math. The average length of these chapters is shorter than what it was last time. Yeah, we're not going through all of it in one series. We will take a break eventually after like what 10, maybe 12 chapters. We'll find a breaking point for us.
Is this ongoing?
Yeah.
You can generally tell on
Yes, I believe it is.
Oh my god.
Time it
was updated November 17th, 2024.
Oh no!
This has been going since March 28th, 2021.
Oh my god.
Respect.
You know what?
Like that. Credit to the commitment, bro.
Yeah, respect.
Bro, this has lasted longer than some comics. Like, damn.
Oh, that's not hard. I mean,
wait, when did it start?
I was gonna say, Zero, that's not a hard bar when some comics last a grand total of one issue. I don't know why you said that without clarification.
He's right.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna start reading, and I'm gonna hope we hit a fitting point to swap off, and hope then we can get to the end of the chapter or like halfway through or something. I might have to go later and download this into a PDF file or something. I'll have to figure that out.
Whatever doesn't kill us.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, should I do
Congratulations on your 1 gigabyte PDF file.
Would that look better? What do you guys think? Dark mode or light mode?
Dark mode. Please, dark mode. Wait, fanfiction.net has dark mode?
Yeah, it says dark mode.
Yeah, they do.
I can also
round of applause.
Guys,
it's now
guys,
usable.
Remember, on fanfiction.net, you can also expand or Titan.
Oh my.
Fanfiction.net has had these features for years, guys. I don't know why you're surprised.
I usually use the mobile version of the site.
Actually, one thing I
don't
will
use
do,
it
I
at
think,
all,
for
so
the
I don't
stream is increase the font size. Yeah, there we go. That should be a good size for stream.
I usually just read books instead of fanfiction.
Most people are saying
Oh,
don't.
you are.
Okay.
Mr. Refined over here.
Indeed, I am a refined
Yeah,
book
Neanderthal.
myself. Well, first off,
What's wrong
you have
with
to give.
paper?
I do have to give deference to my fellow page kind. So come on.
I was gonna say you've heard of the bookworm, but he is just the worm. He is the book the worm is inside of. Which
Holy shit!
Ooh, kinky.
Yeah, I was gonna say. You know, I don't judge anyone for what they're into. So you know,
If you hear me scream off the top of my lungs, that's the worm burrowing into page 5.
Oh my god.
Twilight, why did you let that into the freaking circle too? Come on.
So this is written by a gentleman or gentle person by the name of Kartoffelkum, which has something to do with potatoes. I don't know what "cum" is supposed to be. I would have to look that up in German.
Can you spell that, please? Because how you're saying it has several ways in my mind.
Kartoffelkum.
Low-hanging fruit.
Yes, I'm aware.
Kartoffelkamm.
Thank you.
Yes. And as I've seen, this guy's been very enthusiastic about posting his work around. So far, and he doesn't seem to be anywhere near, like, I don't know, conceited or really boasting necessarily. I would have to see more of his personal stuff. I don't know. I just know that I'm not prone to make fun of him. He doesn't seem to be like thinking himself the Lord and Savior. He's just very passionate about what he wants to do.
He's not Lily Orchard.
He's not Lily Orchard.
He's doing
so
it for the love of the game.
The personal attacks, unless we come across something really wild and abhorrent, we'll try and keep that to a minimum. Anyway.
And if it's boring, we're going to drop it.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Although there's apparently someone that checked it out and said that it's a nice balance of what people like. So I'm intrigued. So let's see. Let's jump right into it, starting with RWBY Project Alpha Chapter 1. Author's note. This is the first of many chapters of my Rewrite AU fanfiction, where I mostly explore how the plot would change if the main characters and some others had access to abilities I think could be plausible within the canon universe. Between Volume 3 and 4, I set up some rules to explain the things we saw on the show, and this is the result of said rules. This chapter eventually turns into a flashback to further explore one of my OCs, but you can skip that if you want. Consider it on par with the red, white, black, and yellow trailers. Anyway,
bold claims. Those are fighting words.
This story is named after a plan my OCs have. Feel free to try and figure it out before I reveal what it is. And lastly, there are 4 important character deaths in the story so far. 1 canon, 1 planned, and 2 just happened.
Why would you spoil us like that?
Wait, what does he mean by this? Okay, so 1 is canon, 1 is planned, so 1 is canon,
has spoilers.
and 2 just happened. What does that mean?
What is
Imagine if he's
So
just like
one's probably Pyrrha.
suspense now, guys. This is his
Like,
plan.
Something.
does it mean that 2 deaths have just happened prior to the beginning of the fanfiction, and that we're going to see the fallout of that? Or does he mean that 2 deaths have just happened in the writing that he has done so far that he hasn't yet published?
Or they happen in this chapter and that's what we're witnessing, or is he getting psychic transmissions from an alternate reality where they have just happened and this entire fanfic is just him transcribing the events as he sees them psychically received?
Okay, I think you went 4 different parallel universes deep there, bro.
Yeah.
I am very confused by this statement.
I need the nth dimension whiskey to understand this shit.
What is the rating of this fic? This is labeled T for teen. So it should be relatively tame. I mean, for all we know, we are going to get into some weird genocide talk like the last T for teen fic that we did. Still can't, like, Lily Orchard is so weird, man.
All right, now I'm interested.
Well, no, that was the freaking. We just had it with the Sith Resurgence, where it's like, oh yeah, no, potato, you kill a whole bunch of people because your loved one is sad or something like that. Like, you got that whole moral lesson.
Do for love.
All right, let's get into it. Just as Qrow was about to pull his sword from the stone wall, Tyrion dashed in to attack him. Before he could reach him, however, the scorpion faunus was hit by a powerful stream of water and launched through the village. So I presume this is just in the middle of Volume 4 now. The stream carved a trench into the stone ground.
That's a common complaint I have with some fanfics. They just kind of start in the middle of a canon scene with zero context and expect you to have watched that part of the show.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen a lot
that
of
does
fics
happen
where
in a lot of different. That happens in a lot of fandoms, honestly. They presume knowledge, which is kind of fair. I mean, you're in a fan fiction circle, but like it's still disorienting even to a knowledgeable reader.
Maybe it's just the fandoms that I surround myself with, but the majority of them are either like normal AUs where they just go to school and live normal lives, or they do have like potential stories.
Why? I'm
One
gonna
of those
call
is Kingdom
Cap.
Hearts, right?
I'm gonna call Cap. You're in the Kingdom Hearts fandom, in the Digimon.
Yeah,
fandom.
Kingdom Hearts.
Excuse me,
Okay.
but there are a fuck ton of fanfic out there for Digimon that is just the kids doing normal school shit, living their normal lives, and occasionally maybe their Digimon might show up, but like they're never actually in the digital world. They don't have their adventures.
Yeah,
Who is doing the exaggerated snoring?
That was
I
not
have
me.
a.
That was not me.
The Kingdom Hearts.
That was
Kaiser
Kingdom
says,
Hearts.
immediately looking guilty. Anyway, let's get back into it. We're 10 minutes in and we've gotten like 5 sentences in.
And who was it that was snoring? I'm gonna mute them.
Kaiser, I think.
What was it actually,
Okay.
Kaiser?
no.
It was I.
How did I meet all of you?
Oh shit!
all right. Let's get to it, guys.
Oh,
All right.
she mad.
The stream carved a trench into the stone ground and left Tyrion soaked and sitting in front of a large building. He looked at where the water had come from, and RWBY rushed back to her friends. They heard footsteps walking through the water, and a woman walked towards Tyrion. She wore a dark blue tank top and copper-colored combat skirt, which was held by a dark blue and black leather belt. She also wore black, unattached sleeves going from above her elbows to her wrists, and had a reddish-brown hair styled in a ponytail by running it through a hole above the knot, holding her black headband in place. She held a golden trident in her left hand, the tips just barely above the stony ground, and slowly approaching Tyrion. Whenever she lifted her feet out of the water, the group could see that she had 6 toes on each foot.
What?
Interesting.
Why is that the six-fingered man?
Mr.
Can
Mr.
I say
Connor?
this? I feel like everyone can agree with me. Outside of very particular people, you don't suddenly realize, oh, this person has this number of toes.
Yeah.
Yeah, what kind of shoes are they wearing where you can see that shit? What
Well,
the fuck?
I assume she's barefoot if
Sandals.
they're making that
Barefoot?
detail.
Oh, the grippers are loose, bro.
She's probably wearing sandals because it's very clear that she's like female Poseidon.
But she could be barefoot. That's what I'm presuming.
Oh dear.
Okay.
Okay, that too.
Sirena. Sirena?
Sirena. I read it Sirena.
Sirena.
Oh.
Sirena, what are you? Qrow began to ask, but Sirena quickly shot an icicle into the stone wall next to him, cutting him off. Oh god, oh, she's one of these types. Oh, after regaining himself, he went to RWBY and her friends and urged them into a building. Who is this? RWBY asked while Qrow tried getting everyone away from the battle. Sirena Blue, Qrow answered. I'm just going to pronounce it however my fucking mouth wants to at the moment.
Serena?
Yeah, I thought Serena.
She is
No, it's
difficult to handle.
Siren with an A at the end. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's so
Well,
hard.
no, my mouth just doesn't want to pronounce it Sirena. It just doesn't sound right
Sirena. Sirena. It's so easy.
to me. Yeah.
It's so easy.
She's difficult to handle. When this is over, I'll do the talking. Who are you? Tyrion asked after Sirena had stopped in front of him. See for yourself, Sirena answered and looked Tyrion in the eyes. He grinned and immediately attacked her with a spinning attack. That's a good trick. Sirena brought her trident around, holding it in both hands
The
to block the attack.
rotates. They'll never see it though.
While the hit connected, Sirena didn't move at all, and Tyrion was thrown off balance when he landed. Stop insulting me like this and fight seriously, Sirena demanded angrily and kicked Tyrion away with a roundhouse kick before shooting water from her trident, propelling herself on top of the building to get a better view over the area. Why?
She attacked with her spinning attack. She kicked with her roundhouse kick.
There's a lot of
Does she
spinning
speak with her
here.
speaking mouth?
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Qrow and the others entered an empty room in an abandoned building and looked around. See what I mean? Qrow asked and said, she is more than dangerous and incredibly violent towards her enemies. Suddenly, Nora spoke up. See, Ren? She asked, holding up a shoebox, showed a magazine of sniper ammunition and said, I'm not the only one hiding ammunition in a case of ammunition emergency. Oh, in case of wait, what the? I'm not the only one hiding ammunition in case of an ammunition emergency.
What?
You don't need
What?
to say it twice.
My brain.
Kick with a roundhouse kick, ammunition for ammunition emergency.
I'm not the only one hiding
rhyme.
ammunition in queso.
This isn't mine, Ruby said. I told you I've never been this far away from home. Well, if you don't want it, Nora said. Pretty sure Sirena wants Ruby to have it, Qrow said. So if you keep it, you won't make it out of this room?
What?
Here, have this. If you try to leave the room, you'll die.
So
No, because Nora has it, and if she leaves with it, then Sirena's gonna kill her. That's what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
basically, Loretta's okay with child murder. Got it.
Are we sure she's a
Dead
good guy?
Rex, you legend.
Donut steal.
Dude.
That was wow. That was.
We got a super chat ID that I missed. Black Wolf 249 says, "Good evening. Could you please check out the fanfic The Kaiju Humans by Troy Cool? It's a Godzilla fanfic that's repetitive and overall subpar. I suppose I will add that to the potential list. I don't know if subpar is quite what we're looking for, but who knows? It might be funny. It might be.
It's got to be entertainingly bad.
Yeah, we got to find entertainingly bad, but we'll take a recommendation and we'll put it on the list for people to vote on. Tyrion dashed behind a building, less than a second before another powerful burst of water cut through the stone ground he had just been standing on. He peeked around the corner, only for Sirena to send another powerful blast at him, aiming for his face. He looked at the hole in the ground, which was filled with dark water, and ducked under another attack in the last moment. He began running behind the buildings, with water jets pulverizing the walls he used as cover, and tried getting a clear line of fire to attack. Then he got an idea and changed his course. Okay. Ruby was just done putting the new ammunition in her pockets when Tyrion crashed through the wall and kicked Qrow out of the hole he made. He just, fucking Kool-Aid man. Oh, yeah! Just, somehow gets behind Qrow and kicks him out the door.
Bitch.
I imagine Qrow is just like, oh man, I kind of miss summer, and then suddenly just a foot kicks him in the face.
Damn.
I miss your mom, Ruby.
I miss your mom, Tails.
I miss her a lot.
I miss my wife, Tails. I miss my wife.
Let's end this, Tyrion said, smiling with murder in his eyes. You're right, Jon said. Ren, now! Jon charged towards Tyrion, his sword raised and his shield partly blocking the view of Ren. Okay, I love the idea that they didn't prepare for this, so Jon yelling this is Ren is completely unprepared, so Jon's just run forward to his own death. Tyrion caught Jon's sword arm with his tail and flung him around, throwing him through the wall behind him. He blocked Ren's scissor-cut strike with one of his own weapons. You think this trick will work on me? Tyrion asked and said, "Don't be ridiculous." Ren fired a short burst of bullets into Tyrion's face and made a backflip, dodging Nora's grenades. Tyrion was launched through the wall and landed on his back. Jon walked up to him and held his sword against his throat. Now who do you work for?" he asked. Tyrion raised his stinger to attack Jon from behind, but RWBY fired an earth dust round at it, pinning his stinger to the ground. Suddenly the floor cracked and water began pouring out of the crack. Tyrion wanted to kick Jon away, but RWBY fired another bullet, pinning his tail closer to his body, the ground as well. Pinning his tail closer to his body to the ground as well.
I need a flowchart to figure out the battle tactics of this writing. Holy
Dude,
shit.
can we get Floof on this to make a diagram of this?
Well,
That
yeah,
poor
well,
boy
yeah,
just gave me a
By all
wonderful
accounts,
Christmas
it
gift.
doesn't
I am
make
not
any
subjecting him to
sense.
any of this shit.
Okay.
Pulling down the silk screen. By all accounts, it doesn't make any sense.
Jon, come back! RWBY called, and Jon huffed and turned away. As soon as he reached the building where his friends were waiting, the ground collapsed and revealed a massive underground lake covering the entire section of the village. I'm sorry.
The village.
We're in a village?
We're in the
We
village at
are.
the end of volume. No, in the middle of volume 4.
Or
we're-
Yuri.
Oh, that's
Right.
Yeah,
right.
that's
Or
In
Yuri.
the
But-
middle of volume 4 when they fought Tyrion.
I feel like I can speak for everyone when I say, do I have LSD in my water?
Dude, if there was LSD in your water, you'd be having a good time, all right?
I've been having a great time, but unfortunately I'm listening to this piss poor battle tactics in writing.
Well, I am now floored. I'm sorry, you built an entire town in the middle of fucking nowhere where you're constantly beset by Grim over a lake? How?
Underground
Our
reservoir?
Okay. Trust love Raymond.
You could sort of say
That's
underground reservoir, but like, holy coincidence, Batman? Oh, fuck. Thank you, Lightning!
What did he do?
I think I miss RWBY's mom.
Dude, that was the second thing I was thinking of. Oh my fucking god.
Oh, I'm so glad I could help out. Every
We're
single
already
time
getting
with
good
this
thumbnail
anything.
fodder for this fucking stream. It's great.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, love it.
Oh boy.
Qrow was struggling to stay at the surface and had lost his sword. After taking a deep breath, he went underwater for another attempt. Another
what?
attempt at
Like
what?
getting his sword?
Make
Like getting his sword,
Grabbing his
maybe?
sword, I guess.
Drink water.
what he said was struggling to stay at the surface. That was the action, and had lost his sword. So was he making another attempt to stay at the surface by going underwater?
Sure.
Making his way through the cold and murky waters, he suddenly heard an all too familiar voice. Smite all evils and protect the light, Sirena said, and handed him his sword before swimming away again. Qrow held onto his sword, but it dragged him down, and he had to climb one of the stone pillars still standing. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm getting verb confusion here. I know you're trying to say the pillars were still standing, but this is making it sound like he had to try and climb one of them while still standing. And I'm just...
Don't you just walk while your back is facing the floor?
No, you know that there's that music video where the guy is just sliding forward on the ground. He's doing that, but like vertically up the
stairs.
Yeah, he's just the animation software bugged out. He's just sliding up 90-degree angle.
Oh man! After
You know how
seeing-
you...
Oh, yo.
Sorry.
You go. What's fine?
I was going to say, you know how you like break the geometry in a video game and you fall into the map?
Yeah, this is what it feels like.
Yeah.
This is how Mafia
Somehow
works.
no clip.
This action. Holy crap.
Okay, guys.
So, after seeing the village floor collapse, RWBY saw Sirena seemingly stand on the water, even though we saw her earlier standing on the water. Sirena walked over to RWBY and her friends and looked at where Tyrion seemed to be. "Let's end this," Sirena said before disappearing beneath the waves. "But don't kill him," RWBY called out. "I don't think she heard you," Nora said. Sirena swam after Tyrion, who was still trying to free himself, but was running out of air. Okay, wait. Where is he trapped? Last we saw, the ground had given way underneath where he had been pinned, so he get trapped underneath the thing? I'm confused.
I guess that section of the ground was like still intact, so he's just pinned to that one piece of ground.
This is something that I think that Twy, Celtic, and a few others can relate to. When you're first writing something, you fall into the trap of assuming that the audience knows exactly what you do because you're the omniscient viewer. Obviously, you go like, oh, this is happening right here, here, and here. However, you're not putting that on the page. So everything is just wish-washy. This character's here, this character's here, this character teleported here between sentences. It makes little to no sense, but it's a common
there's an acceptable way to
mistake.
do this when it's filtered through a single character's POV, in which case that they are themselves disoriented by what's going on. But this is not a single character POV. This is omniscient third person.
Correct.
Yeah. Like the only thing that I'm enjoying about this, and I'm not even sure if this is intentional or not, is I'm picturing Sirena to be the frog from Tyrion's fairy tale, getting fucking revenge on him.
Again, remind me.
It's on site for real.
The frog and the scorpion is the Aesop tale.
Oh
It's like a paragraph long.
Oh, I thought it was based off the Spider-Man character. The
Frog
Scorpion.
takes the scorpion across, but I stabbed the frog. But why did you do that? It's in my nature. Now we will both drown.
Yeah.
Or in other words, YOLO, and that's how they both die.
Yeah.
Water is the source of all life, Sirena said, circling Tyrion. How ironic, then, that it will be your undoing. This is the force I wield. The surface world may be cruel by some standards, but the deep sea is much worse. The most hostile places on the surface can't hope to compare to the nicest places in the deep seas. One wrong move, one moment of carelessness, one unlearned a bit of hope, and it is over. Nothing will remain of those who think the deep sea is caring, and just like the light from the surface, you will suffocate, smothered by the inevitable darkness that awaits at the deepest depths, where only the most wretched and wicked dare dwell. And like the tsunami, I will come to wash away all you hold dear. Your queen will perish at my hands, and there is nothing you can do against it. And then we just cut back to Tyrion, and he's been drowned for the last 5 minutes.
So my only comment.
Wait a minute. This is like, when does this take place? I arrived late.
It takes volume 4 during the Qrow Tyrion fight.
The only thing I have to say to this is there a bar between here and the fucking point?
Yeah.
I was going to say, you're just underwater and all you're hearing is...
Where are the town was like barren. Where are they fighting where there's this much water?
There was a secret lake underneath the town.
At this point,
they literally built the town over a giant fucking lake.
It's the video game thing that we mentioned earlier. You know how whenever there's a single body of water, it's actually under the whole map?
Yeah. Suddenly,
wow, that was weird.
Tyrion cut off his tail and tried hitting Sirena, but she dodged the attack without issue.
Wait, he cut off his own tail?
Yeah, to free himself.
Pansy, you should have been RWBY.
What? No, I'm. Why did you waste all that time while she was monologuing at you?
She starts monologuing.
RWBY looked into the water, thinking about jumping in to make sure Sirena didn't kill her assailant. Oh yeah, I didn't go over the rules. Guys, remember, I and Twilight are the priority speakers. Just because I don't remind you the rules doesn't mean the rules aren't there. So please, if me and Twilight are speaking, please settle down. We don't not love your comments and quips and jokes, but we do kind of want to get on with the story at times. So if I'm trying to push things along, do not interrupt me or Twilight. Okay, let's go.
With it.
RWBY looked into the water, thinking about jumping in to make sure Sirena didn't kill her assailant. Suddenly, Tyrion came flying out of the water and slammed into a building, and his aura was depleted entirely. Look, his tail, Ren said, and RWBY gasped as she saw the stump flailing around. Tyrion coughed up some water and crawled away from the lake on all fours, shivering and coughing. Sirena walked out of the water, moving as if she was walking up a stair, and stopped in front of Tyrion. She grabbed his ponytail and wrapped it around his neck to pull him up, and crouched down a little to be on eye level with him. Tyrion, Sirena said in a cold, threatening voice, Miss Rose decided your life was worth saving. While I disagree with this decision, I still respect it. However, should you return to that bitch you call a goddess, let her know that if she ever sends another one of her worthless mutts to kill me, Miss Rose, or any of her friends, I will not go as easy on them as I did with you. She then pushed Tyrion aside and walked back into the water, while the crippled Faunus curled up and shivered. RWBY dashed over the water and cut several wooden beams, forming a bridge for her front. You can't just do that!
What? Okay, this is a One Piece gag where where Frankie cuts down a tree and suddenly a perfectly formed wooden bridge happens.
No, this is just like some Sonic shit.
Why does Sirena like RWBY so much? They just met.
I think they're gonna get into that.
Also, how do they hear?
She likes the scythe.
User 225 says in Pokemon you have various trainer types, like the Ace Trainer and Pokemon Breeder. Lily Orchard would be the first instance of Pokemon groomer.
Oh my god.
Hey,
Why are you popping out the hot takes now? We're not even covering a fanfic of hers.
Well, I mean, like, valid, though.
We can't
The roast
escape
that
her.
never
Lily is
stopped.
forever infesting this night.
Well, I think that they're maybe wanting to say that at some point we should cover Lily's Pokemon fanfic.
Oh,
He just added Lily Death had a Gardevoir named Courtney.
We needed
Oh,
details from Lily.
okay, all right.
I'd sooner swallow a thumbtack.
Twilight will be on the channel.
You can't see it, but I'm waving my hand at my neck here. That's yeah, no. On the shore of the lake, they met up with Sirena, who had her trident collapsed into a scepter with a blue sphere on top, and walked out of the water again. They immediately noticed that Sirena was barefoot, called it, with no footwear in sight, and she had 6 toes on each foot. You already noticed this!
Why are we focusing so much on this woman's feet?
Why do you think we're focusing so much on this woman's feet?
It's a clue.
Come on,
Yeah,
you know.
edit the picture. She has a blue sphere on her trident.
User 225, Lily would take a Gallade and force it. Okay, come on, man.
Spoilers.
No,
Can we not?
We
Can we not?
may not
I
finish that
appreciate
statement,
the
please.
super chats, but like, Lily would force feed rare candies into Ralts. Okay, can we just? First of all, no, she wouldn't. If you want to go edgy jokes, I will match you, but don't. Let's not do this, all right? Let's not.
Later.
All right.
I hate feet so much.
Are you all right? Sirena asked, looking at RWBY. She sounded strict and formal, but also somewhat caring, the voice of someone with 6 toes on each foot. You have silver eyes, RWBY said, as someone who did not have 6 toes on each foot.
I love not following along visually, so I can just assume that these lines are actually in the prose.
You can only tell by the laughter and the slow descent into insanity. I'm going to update this picture. The more we know that Sirena has a wolf. Yes, perfect. Yes, we are, John answered. Thank you. I wasn't talking to you three, Sirena said. You were irresponsible, not at all cut out for this sort of encounter, and almost lost one of the last people that could save Remnant. Do you have any clue what would have happened if I had not interfered? We were trying our best, RWBY defended her friends. That guy was just too good for us. Sirena, wait! Qrow shouted as he ran towards the group. Qrow, are you all right? RWBY asked after Qrow stopped between the group and Sirena, soaked and panting. Ew. Yes, but you better go now, Qrow answered. Sirena and I have a lot to talk about, I guess. Actually, I came to speak with Miss Rose, Sirena said, looking at Qrow. Love triangle.
Don't say that, please.
Really? RWBY asked and said, also, Miss Rose sounds too formal. You can just call me RWBY then. All right. Sirena said. Now, I'm changing up the entire demeanor. Now follow me. I have a place where we can talk. She
Miss
walked
Rose
past...
with my mother, my dead mother, that Qrow misses.
She walked past the group and down the road leading away from the village. As they left, a few more buildings crumbled, forming a bridge for Tyrion to leave the little island he was stranded on.
What the fuck?
I just love
why
it. Just
are all
hashed
these
that whole
bridges, dog?
Okay, so, all right, my mental geography of this entire place is so fucked right now, because I had thought that was like, okay, the ground crumbles and they fall down into, like, a lake that was, like, several meters below the surface. But now it sounds like the lake was, like, at surface level, and they just somehow built the stonework over top of it, like, at that level. Like, they were, like, 5 minutes away from becoming frickin' Venice.
Where...
Like we said, video game geometry.
Where the fuck is Bugs fucking Bunny with this Looney Tunes ass, like, changing of the scenery? What the fuck?
Oh, he's on stage left.
Who do you think destroyed the buildings?
Fuck, he's right.
Also, he's on stage left right now.
I love
Who
it.
do
Like,
you
oh, he
think
was, by the way,
donated the
Tyrion
organ?
was on a little island. It's like, wait, okay, I guess. And there's a bridge now that was magically formed by collapsing buildings. Okay.
This man does not know how to do like actual writing description.
This is, yeah, this might be one of the most poorly described fights I have ever seen.
You have no
yeah.
idea how self-conscious I am about Caliburn's fight scenes right now. Like, I'm looking at these like, did I do this bad?
I would trust you any day of the night over this.
Okay, first off, that's your mistake. Second off, thank you.
The one that I am willing to make.
The
Thank
group
you.
walked through the forest with Sirena taking the lead, and John whispered something to RWBY. If you're wondering, no, I cannot walk on water, Sirena said suddenly, and John blinked a few times. I merely alter my personal water friction using my aura. If at least one of my feet is fully submerged, that friction can support my entire body.
I didn't ask.
So I didn't ask, and
But
secondly,
you
that's
asked,
just
but-
walking on water with extra steps. Quite
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
extra steps.
Yep.
You got the Jesus coding.
Also,
that's-
on the Naruto.
Yeah, fucking Naruto bullshit, but that's still considered walking on water.
Fucking Mythbusters walked on water using that bullshit. Like, they made water you can walk on.
You know what? You know, it would be
The
better. if they
wild
kinda just,
tracks were able to walk on water.
You know, it's amazing. They could have used that as a character trait, where basically she likes to make her powers sound cooler than they actually are.
Yeah, it's very going out. What's water
It would be
friction?
nice.
It's like, I think he means water tension, but doesn't know the word for it.
Surface tension.
But I'm not going to correct them for that. Can you read minds? Nora asked excitedly. Sirena looked back at her. That is a motherfucker!
What?
That's a great question for another time, she answered. Anyway, we're there. All right.
Escape it. We can't escape
I
it.
can't tell. I can't tell if this is a fucking joke fic anymore. Like, I can't tell if this is real or not. I've suddenly called everything into question with that line.
Tsukiyomi.
Okay, if there is a god, this is not. Okay, that's where I'm at right now.
Anyway, we're there. She pushed a few bushes aside and revealed a clearing with 6 stone sculptures of a borba tusk. They were all vaguely toe-shaped. Sirena sat down on one of the 2 that had moss covering their backs and gestured to the others to sit down as well. John sat to her left, then came Ren, who faced away from the path, then Nora and RWBY, who sat on the second moss-covered stone grim, and lastly Qrow, who sat down between the 2 silver-eyed warriors. So, Sirena, what brings you here? Qrow asked. You told her, didn't you? Sirena countered, gesturing to RWBY. Told me what? RWBY asked, and Qrow sighed. A few years ago, Sirena and I made a deal, Qrow answered. She told me how to use the Silver Eyes and where they came from, and I'd tell every silver-eyed warrior I met.
Why?
But why didn't you tell me? RWBY asked. Do you know how much better things would have been if I had known this? Trust me, RWBY, Qrow answered. These powers paint a target on your back, and people like Tyrion will come to kill you. Like Tyrion just did, come to kill you, without you knowing any of this.
Okay.
Yeah, like,
All
and
right.
even if she doesn't know how to use them, she still has her silver eyes. Whether,
Yeah,
so it doesn't matter if she knows or not.
Yeah, it's like,
I mean, like, if you tell her that silver eyes can be really dangerous, you think she'd be like more, like, open and wary about them, I guess.
RWBY,
you know,
happy 8th birthday. I've bought you colored contact lenses. Never take them out, ever.
Well, that might.
People will assume you're in your chuny phase.
It's like, Uncle Qrow, I'm 10 years old now. Can I take them out? No. I think I've gone blind. You have to keep them in, kid.
What about if they fall underneath my eyelid?
You'll just have to get a new eyelid. I'm sorry.
I just need new eyes altogether.
The pain builds character.
It is true, Sirena said, which is why I am here now. My teammates are protecting your friends as well, and helping them become stronger should our enemies try and attack them as well.
Oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah. Ugh. Also, how do
Yep.
you know about her friends? How do you know any of this? Who the fuck are you?
No, see, what's actually happening is that she's part of the RWBY NSA.
What teammates? Like,
I-
she's clearly alone.
Well,
I really don't want to quote Maxor, but this is the RWBY NSA, but my handler is a white woman.
Oh.
Wait, by friends, does she mean Team Ranger, the rest of Ranger? Or
No,
She means the rest of Team RWBY.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the rest of RWBY.
Yeah.
Are they just gonna shit on Team Juniper the entirety of this? fic?
Probably.
More than likely.
Son of a bitch.
I hope.
Okay, just for those of us who don't know what's going on, Nora asked and said and asked, what is so important about the Silver Eyes? And who was that guy? John asked. I suppose I should start at the beginning. That would be preferable. Sirena said and explained. At first, there were two gods on Remnant, the god of light and his younger brother, the god of darkness. The god of light and his younger brother, the god of tequila. It wasn't quite the paradigm you thought it would be. The god of light created life, and his brother would destroy it. However, life always returned stronger than before. In a desperate attempt to turn the tide, the younger brother created the Grim. They are creatures of darkness, born from it, feeding from it, and returning to it once slain. One day, the god of light proposed a truce. They would combine their powers, creation, destruction, knowledge, and choice, to make one final creation, then leave the planet. That was humans, right? Nora asked. And not quite, Sirena answered. That species was called Therianthropes? Excuse me?
Why?
What?
Therian what?
We have taken a left turn.
We're about to get into the Animorphs AU now.
Isn't that Yu-Gi-Oh deck?
I can't wait.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm playing it right now at this point.
They had
Okay, somebody look that up.
They had the ability to switch between animal form and a human one. Due to various circumstances, most related to creating offspring, they lost this ability over time. However, the God of Light hid a secret weapon in this ability. The seventh child of a Therianthrope, which does not inherit their parents' abilities, is instead blessed with a spark of creation. To combat the Grim, this spark manifests as Silver Eyes.
Oh no, Ruby's furry.
You know, I read fics where she is, and they can be pretty good. This is unfortunately not one of those.
If this is just, like we're getting to Wolf RWBY, just to start with Wolf RWBY, RWBY the Carpenter. Not my best, but it'll do. Derex, I
I'm
love
already
you,
the
man.
biggest Silver Eye hater, but even I don't think it needed an origin story.
I don't really think it needed much at all. Like, there were other elements you could have plucked on instead of creating a new subspecies, or I guess super species, technically.
Can you say this?
It's the missing link.
Okay, Therianthropes. Therianthropes.
Bro, I'm dyslexic. I'm never going to be able to spell that.
Well, you don't need to. You just have to hear it.
But thank you for saying it out loud again.
You know, RWBY, Nora said, you're pretty humble considering you're wielding the power of a god. Very funny, Nora, RWBY said sarcastically. But I don't have any special powers aside from that one thing. Speaking of which, what do the Silver Eyes actually do? Ren asked. they turn Grimm to stone, or obliterate them, or kind of anything you want them to do. Also, the spark does allow one to connect all of creation on a deeper level.
What?
A deeper
Yeah,
level.
just
Whatever the hell that
casually,
is.
just throw that in there.
Okay, so on one hand, it allows you to stop an evil creature and turn it to stone. Kind of neat. Also, it allows you to connect to all of creation on a deeper level. Oh, can you please elaborate on that? That seems a little more important.
Does that mean that RWBY essentially has backdoor access to the power of a god?
RWBY, okay, meaning,
Is
RWBY
Awa.
asks, tilting her head a little, I suppose you could call it magic, Sirena answered. Some of my people can manifest that energy as force fields or energy blast, heal injuries, track others, make hovering light spheres, or transmute materials.
Well, why?
It files our
She just
taxes.
made her a
It perfectly
frickin-
toasts bread. It cracks walnuts perfectly. It does anything you want.
At this
It sawed
point,
my bow in half.
at this point, I need a bottle of whiskey and a pie chart to figure out what the fuck is happening right now.
I need
I'll tell you
2
what's
bottles of
happening.
whiskey and a blood.
Oh my god. Oh no. It defeated Hope in the interstice? Hope in the interstice. I'm sorry. It defeated you. No. He has to
Okay,
dip
listen,
out.
there's
It's too
more.
cringe for him.
Okay, I'll tell you guys what's happening here. The writer's fucking with us. The writer is fucking with us. I refuse to believe this is serious. I refuse.
No, I want
I don't
this
know,
to be
man.
serious.
At this
okay,
point, I think it's
I have
dead
seen
serious.
This author, I've seen this author on Reddit before talking about his fanfic.
Reddit.
Offering his fanfic as a genuine. Oh yeah, no, I try to do my best to make RWBY better and do these interesting things. He's just kind of like, I want to promote my fic. He seems like a good-hearted guy, and it's kind of funny. It's like, oh dear, buddy, that's not great.
Yeah, like I feel sorry for this guy because he genuinely seems to enjoy his fic, but he's just not a very good writer.
Yeah.
And
You know what? Look,
If he
you
wanted
got
to
cut
give
their
Silver
teeth
Eyes
down.
an extra
He's
power,
got
he
more
could have just let it be heat vision.
What?
Let's
see.
Let's move on.
Speaking of, okay. Turn meaning, I suppose you call it magic. Wait, magic? Nora asked excitedly. What do you mean by your people? RWBY asked. What do you mean by your people?
Your people.
I am queen of a deep sea kingdom called Soraklia.
What?
What?
Okay.
Oh no!
They never stopped.
IKN, or who was it that suggested that the lake underneath the town was just the world box for the ocean?
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
you were right.
Also,
So our OC is Aquaman.
I was actually so right to edit the face on Namor.
Yeah.
Because I edited the face on Namor for the
Stay
trident.
Okay,
but
so
like the
Lightning.
kingdom fits.
Quick question: when did you become Nostradamus?
He's had predictive prowess. Like his lightning sometimes does outspeed the speed of light.
This is true.
We have had trouble surviving on our own, so we had little time or interest in relations with the surface. That's the opposite of what would have happened. You would have reached out for assistance if you could be on friendly terms with. Anyway, especially considering our ancestors left the surface due to the human prosecution.
what?
You mean
I mean-
persecution? I understand mixing those two words up, but it's like, yes, we put the fish people on trial for the crime of being fish people.
Like it's an episode of fucking SpongeBob.
Why were you being prosecuted? Because we kept murdering people? I can see why people would want to get rid of you.
Okay.
Wait, are they supposed to be like faunus?
I don't know.
I don't know.
They're just straight up Atlanteans, full stop.
Yeah, I came to the surface a bit over 7 years ago, learned to use my aura and semblance, and returned to teach my people, who apparently didn't know about aura and semblance? What?
Okay.
I wish I could go there,
He's
RWBY
learned
said.
after them.
Underwater must be really beautiful. Ruby, I don't know how to tell you this. You can go underwater anytime you want. There's a lake right there.
Ruby, hey Ruby, go into the ocean, duck your head underwater, and take a deep breath in. See what happens.
No, please do. No more do it.
It is
breathe in that salty.
It is at
sea.
first,
Enough.
Sirena said.
Okay.
But the deeper you go, the creepier it gets. The bottom of the sea is the most brutal, ruthless, unforgiving environment there is. Wow, way to sell them on the tour. I see, Ruby said. Took out one of the ammunition clips and asked, "What about this ammo? It feels weird, even for dust." That is because it's goo.
This is not real. This is not real.
Nickelodeon Choice Awards.
Sirena answered and said, "It was created by my people. They used magic to fuse dust and common sea rocks together, and then grew seaweed on it. The seaweed is harvested, mashed, and purified, and the resulting gelatinous substance can be used like dust." Okay, unironically, that's actually kind of a cool concept. Not
cool,
the
but it's
fusing
called
magic to dust, like dust to like rocks, like just the idea of like underwater dust growing seaweed. That's kind of a cool.
So
idea.
that's cool.
It sounds like
Counterpoint though, it's called goo.
yeah, that's the problem.
You could not.
Counterpoint. That's hilarious.
You know what it kind of sounds like? It kind of sounds like what Celeste, what you said about Velvet, where she can make any kind of dust with her weapon, but it sounds like they use that concept is cool, but the name is horrible because that can be accommodated to many different things.
Yes. Also, Lightning, you actually got them flipped. Technically speaking, they were the ones being prosecuted, so it would be Edgeworth versus the Therianthropes or whatever.
Yeah.
Not to harsh your amazing quick work.
I haven't watched the Phoenix Wright anime. I don't know what happens here.
Don't watch it. Play the games. They're better.
I've seen the bloopers.
I like the
okay.
anime.
Okay.
Great. So you can give some to General Ironwood and help him out, right? Fucking out of nowhere. You're also on your way to Mistral. You should be caring about
what?
Leo, not Ironwood.
Does he even know who Ironwood is?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't. Sirena looked at the ground inside. I offered him a deal, but he refused, Sirena answered. I proposed a deal that he would give me the dust I needed for my research, and he would have access to the resulting product if my people were successful. The plan was to find an alternative to dust that would work outside of Remnant's atmosphere, so we could establish a network of satellites to replace the 4 Academy's towers. I had hoped that by doing so, we could have dissuaded our enemies from targeting any major city, or at least make it harder for them to recruit forces like the White Fang. Okay.
Bruh.
I mean,
there's so much wrong I need to break down there. Okay, for one, going to someone and being like, hey, fund all of everything that I'm trying to do here. Sorry. Fandom, that is not better. Phoenix Wright is a defense attorney. That doesn't help at all.
Yes, I know.
Phoenix Wright, I think, has only... I don't know if he's ever actually done a prosecution side of it. No, he's done a plaintiff side of a case. I don't think he's ever done prosecution work.
Remember, everybody, get Phoenix Wright if you didn't do it. Get Saul Goodman if you did.
Yeah, this is not right.
All right.
But, no, okay, I was going to say, let's break this down. You went to someone and say, hey, pay for my experiments, and if I produce something meaningful, then you'll get it, with no promise that it will actually result in anything. So, yeah, of course they said no. Also, your plan was to try and find a thing that would be sourced on dust, but would somehow work outside the atmosphere, with no guarantee that's how it would work at all. All you're doing is creating gooey dust at this point. You want to create a satellite network, and one of your main arguments for doing it was to prevent people from attacking major cities, which the main point of attacking a major city is to attack the population, typically speaking. And then third, you want to do it to dissuade people from making it harder for people to join the White Fang, so what you're proposing is massive censorship. Am I getting all of that correct?
Hey, Lightning, can you have my neck snapping from the whiplash?
I mean, if
I
you're
feel
gonna
like
make
it's
the
just a book
satellites,
being-
Oh,
Oh, sorry. It's just the book being split in
I
half.
think what they were trying to accomplish was that they're trying to show Ironwood's paranoia early, but they're failing miserably at this.
They're making
Because
this character look like a bitch.
Yes,
what they're
basically.
doing.
We don't really know anything about Ironwood in Volume 4. He's not even like mentioned in name from what I remember.
No, he
of the volume.
appears.
The
but
the
just
only time he
once.
comes up, he comes up with
Let's-
being the one
let's-
to
Let's
have
continue, guys.
Yang's arm. But sorry.
Be quick with the let's
Yeah.
move on.
Come on, we can try again, Ruby said. I'm sure he'll change his mind when he sees the finished product. I appreciate your help, but I made my choice, and he made this. He made his, Sirena said, because you can't negotiate once you have more to offer. We all have to live with the consequences of our actions. You're a fucking idiot.
Like I always say.
Wait, if these stones are actually Grim, Ren said and asked, how did they get here? I've never seen Borbotusk on Anima before. I brought them here a few weeks ago, Sirena answered, just before I made that lake.
Oh.
Okay.
Excuse the fuck out of me.
You casually made a lake.
She can create lakes now.
Okay. They
Also,
lake now?
if
They
you
lake
want to
now?
know-
Also,
Hold on,
All
John said.
according to
Are you?
prep time.
John said and asked. You just gotta say John said. Are you saying you knew this would happen? I had reason to assume you would come this way, Sirena answered, and that our enemies would try to kill RWBY. So I set up camp here and waited. Did you spy on us? John asked. Sirena's teammates have more than enough ways to figure things out, Qrow answered. Talia likely hacked into the school's computer system and accessed your psychological evaluation files. And it...
Why?
Get the fuck out of here! Get the
Why?
No!
Yeah.
No!
Damn.
I can take everything. Fuck you!
Just fuck you.
Get the fuck. Okay.
I am utterly speechless.
Twilight,
Yeah.
No.
can you burn me in the ritual circle? One, so that I don't have to like get whiplash from this, and two, so I don't have to be in the next Valinor stream.
You know what? I
No.
know. Let's do it together.
You will get burned
Took me
after
at this
Balinor
point.
finishes.
Sire, Qrow, I let you decide how much
your
you share
time.
about yourself, so please give me the same respect, Sirena said. Unless it involves you directly, please do not reveal people's personal information. It is rude. I'm sorry! Yeah, thank you, Qrow. You're one to talk, Qrow said. Never once have I revealed the personal information that did not relate to me directly, Sirena said, huffing like an insulted noblewoman. Oh, she does have the fucking Hime voice.
He's very Ojo-sama, isn't
I'm
she?
sorry, bitch. You went into our personal psyche valves. That happens to be a violation of our privacy. Go fuck yourself.
I hope that's mine.
There were a lot of times where this exact thing got people in trouble, Qrow said. Yeah, it's called the law. Revealing information about someone without their
law.
consent denies them their autonomy and violates their privacy, and I will not stoop so low, Sirena said, raising her voice a little, completely fucking hypocritical.
She didn't even need to do that. They could have just established that she like knew someone
Followed
or
them. You
something.
made it way more complicated. It's like, oh yeah, no, we had someone. I followed you because I'm a good tracker because I'm a huntsman and that's what I fucking do. Fucking
Knowing
hell.
someone's psychological profile doesn't even guarantee that you'll know what they'll do or where they'll go.
Wait, are you even a huntsman? Are you at
He's a
this
fish.
point? You have a team, I guess so. Whatever. Fucking hell. Anyway, so how did the Silver Eyes work? Ruby asked, trying to de-escalate the situation. No. This bitch violated your privacy, Ruby. This is not a good thing.
No, escalate it all the way to the top. Shoot that bitch dead.
Sirena cleared her throat. Right, about that, she said and asked. Is it all right if they know about it as well? Of course, Ruby answered. Well, fine, Sirena said and explained. Like I said before, the Silver Eyes are a weapon designed by the God of Light. My people theorize there are other ways, but the way we use them is by utilizing negative emotions, namely fear, sorrow, and anger. Really? Ruby asked. Yes, Sirena answered. For me, the emotional trigger is fear. I know what it's like to be scared, so I can protect those that need it most.
What?
Oh my god.
Sirena, I have some
eyes?
news for you.
Yellow
I'm sorry to
lantern.
say. That
You're
you're not so super
and then you
special.
want to be Yellow Lantern?
Sora Heart says,
So
"Is this
it's
how to make?"
basically the dark side.
Sora
Guys,
asks,
guys.
"Is this how not to make an OC guide?" Yes, this is a guide to how not to make an OC.
At this point, just link us a wiki page.
Yeah, for real, dude.
I also know
Drive
what
off
scares
the
others,
current
allowing
guy.
me to utilize the emotion to further protect the people from Grim if necessary. From what I've seen of you, your eyes emit the light of creation in times of despair and deep sorrow. Well, I mean, kinda, Ruby said, and looked down. See, Qrow said, turned to Sirena and said, I knew she wouldn't like it. That's not it, Ruby said. I just need time to think it over. This is the first time I ever heard about how to use these powers, and I'll do what I can to save people, to make sure I won't lose anyone ever again. We'll help in any way we can, John said, and Ren and Nora nodded in agreement. Thank you, Ruby said, turned to Sirena and asked, So, how do I best use these powers? First, you must understand that these powers are meant to preserve life, Sirena answered. Then, when the darkness is closing in, remember how it made you feel in the past, and unleash the light to make sure you never feel that way again. I'll try, Ruby said and asked. By the way, I fucking hate that. Just said, please. Just said. That's all you need. By the way, you said something about human prosecution earlier. Does that mean you're a faunus? Oh no!
Oh my.
Ruby.
Oh my.
Answer.
Ruby.
Or she was a
You can't just
homophobe,
ask
now
someone if
racist.
they're a
One of
faunus.
those people? She's a racist.
Literally, one of your teammates is a faunus girl. I don't know. Why are you saying it like that?
I am, yes, Sirena answered. Everyone in my kingdom is a faunus, and we all have gills as a trait, though the millions of years of having this one trait had some strange side effects. While they do not allow us to stay underwater indefinitely, they allow us to replenish some of our oxygen reserves, and my ancestors have evolved to stay underwater longer anyway. In general, I can fight underwater for up to 5 hours before I need to resurface, though some things I can do with my aura almost negate that limitation. Wait.
Oh my god.
You live underwater, but you can only stay underwater for 5 hours.
Okay, so
What is the purpose of your bills?
Why so many extra steps?
Dolphin
Why can't
motherfuckers
it
be
just
like.
be simple?
Whales
Okay.
stay underwater
Sounds
longer
like-
than you.
You know what this
Okay.
sounds like?
first statement,
Sweet Home
Dexter,
Alabama.
I actually spat out my drink when looking at your new fan art. Like, 6
You should be
times.
drinking.
Wait.
Nose.
Just ask me why the fuck.
I have to
Good
save
God.
all these images, man. This is going to be
Oh my
great for
god,
thumbnails.
yes.
This is like so confusing because
When are we switching?
Honestly, let's switch right now because I don't know where the next break is.
If we have a break.
Okay.
It's like save
Well,
me.
let me finish this paragraph.
like-
over.
Yes.
Oh no, sorry, though some things I can do with my aura most negate that limitation. Okay, there we go. So then it's Ruby. What?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a drink. You continue. This is fucking.
Yep. What do you mean? Ruby asked. I can use my aura to extract oxygen from the water around me, Sirena answered. And since it covers a much larger area, I can gain all the oxygen I need to stay underwater for as long as I have aura.
So poison yourself.
God.
So what even the point of establishing the?
wait, I thought it just said she can only stay underwater for 5 hours. Now she can stay as long as she wants.
Yeah, but she said that her aura basically makes it so that doesn't matter. So I don't know why she bothered mentioning it. What are those side effects?
She specified she can only fight underwater for 5 hours, so maybe just relaxing is different.
What are the side
guess.
effects? Shush, guys. I'm trying to read. What are those side effects you mentioned? Ren asked. I have poison glands under my skin, Sirena answered. They are poorly developed and don't produce enough poison, but I can use it anyway, but they're there. They also influence my semblance. Your semblance? Ruby asked. Retaliation, Sirena answered. Normally, when I am hit with a melee attack while my semblance is active, my enemy takes as much damage as me. You're a Pokemon. Okay, I got it.
Mirror move
And a
with the head
shit
ass.
one at that. Jesus Christ.
Sirena, I choose
Your
you.
god clearly just left on the first draft. Oh wait.
Okay, Lightning, fuck right off with that title in voice chat.
That's not even how poison works.
No.
Oh my god.
Why is it a poison sack then?
Okay, where was I?
Oh my god.
Good lord.
However, due to my poison glands, my semblance instead poisons anything I come into contact with while it is active. So do your poison glands work or do they not? Fuck off.
Also, the whole retaliation thing, I just... Like, my semblance is retaliation. It means that all those prosecutions that come against us, I file a counter lawsuit. I bury them in legal fees.
That's not how poison works.
Oh.
It can be rather dangerous for those around me, as it can damage aura with a single touch. She looked at Qrow as if she wanted to say something, and Qrow sighed but remained silent. Anyway, Anyway, what about those people the gods first created? Nora asked. Therianthropes, Sirena answered and explained. Like I said, they could switch from a human to an animal form and retain all their cognitive capabilities.
Why do we need to know
Grim could
that?
not bother them in animal form, allowing them to live as nomads. Eventually, they began settling down and mingle with one another, which caused some to be born humans, while others were born as faunus. The former was the case whenever two different kinds of therianthrope had children, while the latter was the result of a therianthrope in animal form having offspring with an animal of the same kind.
Oh, so we got bestiality.
My brain is breaking.
Dude, we are just. Dude, it's like you just slap on every possible adage you can add to a Mary Sue, and this is just the machine gun variant of just slapping all of this shit onto your audience's brain. It's like fucking
So
unreal.
your parents are just literally just animals. Do they have to stay as animals throughout the entire pregnancy, or how does that work?
Yeah.
So
Do not
we're
go into
canonizing
logistics. Why would you even
bestiality
want to stay as an
now.
animal?
We're canonizing that into this sort of, maybe, I don't know.
Well, like no, they're both in animal form when they do that. That's how you create the faunus. When they have sex in human form, that's when you create a human.
Yippee.
I thought they said
It's gonna keep growing.
it's when in
It
animal
goes
form
on.
they have sex with an animal.
Please move on. Please move on.
Yeah, move on. Move on.
Well, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to clarify
I need to
here.
go bleach my
Them in
brain.
animal form having sex with an animal produces a faunus.
Interesting lore additions.
Dog plus dog equals human with dog ears. Dumb.
I remember that from my Punnett Square.
It's magic.
Don't you know it's in biology?
Okay. That animal could turn into a faunus form, retaining a single physical trait from their animal form and most of their instincts, but also gaining human-like intelligence. Could some turn into alligators? Nora asked. Most likely, yes, Sirena answered, but they are all extinct now. Anyway, it is getting late, so you should just go get some sleep. I will be watching you from afar, and step in should you need my help.
Oh, I see. Okay, so the dialogue wheel ran out. We got through all the different explain this to me options. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah, me too, Qrow said. Why can't you travel with us? RWBY asked. I guess I have to tell you eventually, Qrow said. My semblance is, well, it's not like other semblances.
Oh, this shit again.
I'm not like other girls.
I'm not like the other girls.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
It is constantly active at a low level and brings bad luck to everyone around me. It's useful for fighting because my opponent has to fight their environment as well, but it doesn't care if someone is my friend or not, so it's hard on the people I care about. After he was finished talking, he got up and was about to walk away. Oh, okay, RWBY said and asked. And what about you, Sirena?
Wait, what the fuck?
You just explained it.
No more reaction to that, RWBY? I mean...
No, okay.
It's like, oh, okay. I'm glad you don't have any trauma from that, Qrow.
I guess that explains why you were never around. I would prefer to keep a low profile, Sirena answered. When Salem realizes I am here, she will undoubtedly launch a large-scale attack on my kingdom. Sirena got up as well. Salem? RWBY asked. Who is that?
No.
Let it end.
Kill me.
Oh, we're just like front loading all this exposition in the first half of the first chapter.
Is this better or worse than Canon RWBY?
Thank you,
We were
Saitama.
almost
Enough,
free.
you idiot. Shorten it to 20 words or less.
This is far worse than canon.
I can't.
Both Qrow and Sirena gave each other surprised looks. Then the realization hit them as they sat back down. Guess we forgot to tell you about her, Qrow
No
said.
shit, Qrow.
Bro, drink whiskey. This explains a lot. This goes a lot better when you're drunk. That's the only way we can explain this shit.
Go home, Qrow. You're sober.
Okay, all right. Settle down, guys. Settle down.
Enough. You forgot, Sirena said. I don't even know how that works in the first place. I simply assumed that you had told them at least that much. So, who's Salem? RWBY asked. Imagine the worst person you know, Qrow said. Cinder, the four students said in unison. Fair enough, Qrow said.
Yeah, honestly,
That was a rhetorical
that,
question.
The because around it kind of sucks, but like I like that joke.
I don't like that.
Yeah, like some of the jokes have landed pretty well. It's just literally everything else surrounding them.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Salem is much worse. Remember that Sirena said about the gods? They put their powers of creation, destruction, knowledge, and choice together to create mankind, right? RWBY asked.
No, the Theranthropes. That's what she made with it. RWBY, get it fucking right. We just explained it. Now, oh my god, you've prompted the dialogue wheel again. We're going to have this explained to us. Fucking hell, RWBY.
It's like Endless 8, but for dialogue now. Holy shit.
Exactly, Qrow answered. Well, there just so happened to be 4 relics, each correlating to one of these powers or gifts. One such relic is hidden under each academy, so there would always be capable warriors nearby to protect it. It's said that if you have all 4 of those relics, you literally hold the power of the gods in your hand. Needless to say, someone like Salem can't get any of those.
Well, it's good we have Sirena because she can just make a lake under the fucking
Here we
academies
go
and get us
again.
those relics whenever she wants.
This is just spamming like A to skip dialogue, and then you push it one too many times and you start it over again.
Oh my god.
I have a headache. This is giving me a headache.
Have you guys ever seen the meme of like when you skip a cutscene in a Yakuza game?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Lightning, definitely.
Exactly, Lightning.
This is so good.
So, how do we go about protecting those relics? RWBY asked, but then yawned. First, you all get some sleep, Qrow answered and got up again. Tomorrow you'll go to Mistral, then we'll see what we can do there.
They're nowhere
After
near
making
close
some-
to Mistral. They are literally weeks away from Mistral, or days away.
Well, like they would be weeks away, but they got there within days because Qrow got poisoned and they saw the smoke rising from the chaos of the fight and
Yeah, the
were able
Necrobic
to
fight.
fly there.
Right.
But wasn't that
Yeah, they're not going to skip over the Nikolavi, are they?
No,
that's
no,
what
no.
gotta
They're
do.
going
They
to
just gotta
destroy it in like
find-
one hit after their training from Sirena.
They just gotta find
Oh.
enough Grim, kill them at the same time, and then the Grim smoke will signal some patrollers.
Oh god, that's probably what's going to happen.
Fuck.
Also, I've never watched Volume 4, so don't trust anything that I say.
Don't worry, girl. I don't remember it.
After making some preparations to better protect Ruby, Sirena sat half hidden in a bush and looked into the campfire. The wood cracked.
Someone gets a picture of the guy in a ghillie suit just sitting on the fucking quad of his college in like a planter. It's what I'm imagining right now. It's just-
Same.
And someone just walked up to the guy and was like, "Are you okay, man?" It's like, "Yeah, I'm just going through something." And he just sat there. Like, it's one of the best images online. It's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
God.
The wood cracked, popped, and sparked as the flames danced around in the night sky. It reminded her of the light a bit over 3 years ago when she graduated. The night a bit 3 years ago when she graduated. The night a bit over 3 years ago.
Just a night that bit, but that's about it.
Reminded her of the night a bit over 3 years ago when she God, that is why is it that they technically fine sentences, but they are structured in such a way that it just fucks with the brain.
In the middle
Well,
of the
because
night with my
he tries to
dreams.
make everything way too technical and way too refined. Like, we don't need to know that it was a bit over 3 years ago. You could just say over 3 years ago.
He's trying to purple prose everything he thinks is important.
Yeah.
Lightning sent the bus.
What the fuck?
Qrow just looks away and says, usually this is the other way around, but
Oh my
The full moon was high in the sky above Vale, and fireworks lit up the sky with flashes of light and sound. Sirena looked at the festivities from the harbor and thought back to all the times her people had used similar displays of light and sound to warn others of approaching Grim.
You're underwater, how?
What?
Ugh.
I have so many questions.
Also, I need to make it. People are like, "Oh, if it's just 5 hours of exertion," it's like, I don't know. Just because you were exerted doesn't mean you still like. It'd be like what, 8 hours? And she's like a trained warrior. Does that mean that everyone else is worse? So that just she gets back to Atlantis and everyone's just dead.
Why would you live underwater
scary.
if you
RWBY.
can't breathe underwater? It just seems like a design failure.
Here, however, was a happy occasion. New huntsmen and huntresses would be released into the world.
That phrasing makes them sound like cockroaches or like an endangered species being returned to the wild.
Fly, my pretties, fly.
We have airdropped wolves into Yellowstone Park.
Open in their cages.
Fighting evil in all of its shapes. There was not a trace of fear in the capital. As usual, the crime rate had dropped over 80% in the past days because criminals fled the city to evade the new huntsmen that would be on their trails. Their fear drew the Grim away from the city, and the drop in Grim activity eased the nerves of the citizens, further decreasing the likelihood of a Grim attack. She only wore her combat skirt, headband, and tank top without the black sleeves. She dropped her leather satchel containing her surface world belongings, such as wallet and scroll, and took a step forward. Ver, dear friends, she thought before she dropped into the icy waters beneath, and the cold embraced her skin. Sirena swam north until the city was out of sight, then turned west and finally southwest.
Lightning, that's beautiful. Go, do a cry.
Go, do a cry.
I can't believe. Oh, God.
This
Yeah,
was,
the crime rate
I
is
was
so
worried about
low
this fic
because
not
of
being
all the
interesting
murders.
enough. Oh god, it's been so worth it.
This it's
This
just
is
like
gold.
have you ever been physically slapped by a Wikipedia article? This is what I feel like it's like.
Yes, I have actually.
Well, only when they're asking for donations.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Okay.
Like, I appreciate it.
Swimming toward her final destination, Sirena encountered a few big white sharks, which began circling her after she stopped to hover in place. She focused on one of the sharks and kept eye contact until the shark swam back to where it had come from. Okay.
All right. You mean great white shark, not big white shark, or are we talking like a
just
big nurse sharks here that are like albino?
I guess so. They're just big
What's
and
so
they
great
happen to be
about
white.
I heard you could talk to fish.
Oh my god, Sirena, you can't just say that the sharks were white.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's
They're
racist.
Caucasian, clearly.
Damn.
She followed the animal past it and found a birthing ground which had been taken over by Lurkjaw. Okay.
Okay, repeat that word?
Lurkjaw.
Lurkjaw.
Oh, this is the part where he does like bring in fan-made Grim that he borrowed from people.
Is it yours?
Yes. No, I don't remember making a Lurkjaw.
Okay.
The fuck is
These
a
Grim,
Lurkjaw?
which looked like anglerfish, had already claimed several victims and now focused on Sirena. She immediately closed her eyes to avoid being enthralled by their lure and focused on the water brushing over her skin to sense the enemies. One of the Lurkjaw tried biting her legs, but she hit it with the palm of her right hand, crushing its skull with an aura shockwave. Sirena continued the motion and made a front flip, using her left foot to send a razor-sharp wave of water over most of the Grim. One of the Grim got away and attacked, but Sirena kicked its lower jaw through its upper jaw, killing it. With the Grim dead, Sirena left the sharks to themselves and continued her way back home.
Okay.
Make a report
Okay.
to Peter.
I learned the power of fear.
So she sent a wave of water underwater.
Well,
It's the same thing that Ren did that one time, and I don't think has ever done again.
The palm
Yeah,
thing?
I'm guessing it's like some kind of aura shockwave thingy. Whatever.
I was gonna say the wave underwater
Fox
thing is
also-
actually
Fox
not
also did it
a
in
bad
Volume
description.
2.
You can do a wave underwater. It just you don't
Yeah,
see
that's
it,
amazing.
but the pressure is still there,
Yeah.
and that's kind of why tsunamis are terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sirena stopped on a ledge overlooking a pitch black ocean trench.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
You're just cooking tonight, man. You're cooking fish tonight.
God, I'm
Oh
so
my
sorry.
God.
I'm so sorry, Twy. I'm so sorry, but that just hit me like a goddamn thing of bricks.
Oh, wait,
Lightning's
Lightning.
gonna
She is a
throw
woman.
my
You should
phone
probably censor those nipples. I'm thinking like a very blocky mosaic.
Oh no!
Deaderex also had a good one too.
Oh yeah, no, the freaking yellow lantern, perfect.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
She closed her eyes and focused, sensing that her aura was at full capacity. Sirena took a step forward and sunk into the black depths of the abyss. Using her aura, she nullified her water friction and began rushing toward the darkness as if it were a vacuum. When it became too dark to see, even with her exceptional night vision, she had her water friction return to normal and slowed her descent. The darkness slowly crept up on her, taking her away all her senses and all means of navigation. Time and space lost all meaning, and there was only the cold, unforgiving void. Out of the hole in the nearby cliff, an elongated Grim attacked. The Memelu.
The Malamu?
Malamu?
Gesundheit.
Mamelu.
Gesundheit.
The mommy
I've been
milkers.
Hey, off.
I've been reading too much German. My sense of pronunciation is all messed up.
Mammy Lou?
Mamelu.
Twilight.
Yeah.
Tracking how many powers she has, because like She just added a
Remember
new
2 weeks ago when I asked you how long do you think it would take for one of my Grim to show up in this fic?
Yeah.
Chapter 1.
I was just about to ask, hey, is this yours?
Yo.
It sounded like one of yours.
You know what? It actually
how do
kind
you
of looks
pronounce
like.
that?
That's pretty cool.
It's a sick design.
Mamaleyu. Okay.
I kind of got that right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Mamalu.
Yeah, I was wondering if you had this one on your phylogeny chart because it's like a smaller Bakunawa.
Oh, I can take a look. Just wait for me to open up my Photoshop file.
Well, after the stream, obviously.
Yeah.
You finish reading this fic while that Photoshop file opens.
Well, sure, freaking Discord doesn't crash.
Yeah. A serpentine Grim with 2 front-facing horns shot towards Sirena, trying to skewer her. Sirena pushed herself out of the way and reduced her water friction, shooting out of the way faster than a bullet. She drew her trident and dashed toward the Grim, stabbing it in the gills. As the Grim tried to get away or attack Sirena, she activated her semblance, coating herself in a toxic aura and poisoning the enemy. The stonefish poison partly paralyzed the Grim, and Sirena pulled her trident from its body, repeatedly jamming it into the large enemy's body until it died. She turned her semblance off again and continued her descent into the darkness below.
Okay. So, okay, I just want to remind everyone, this is the thing that she was reminded of thinking back on watching the fireworks? Fire,
Yeah.
right. What the fuck is happening?
I have
You know, I'm the one on fire.
Have you ever
Yeah.
been?
I
feel
don't know
like
anymore.
I've never been bad touched by a fan fiction before mentally.
Dude, we just read Sith Resurgence.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. You know, not this quickly, not this quickly. Okay, but Sith Resurgence wined and dined me.
It gave you the Cosby treatment.
The pro.
Foreplay.
Also, Lightning, no, I don't have it. I'm gonna have to add it to my phylogeny chart now.
Hey.
Well, you should probably give me a list of a lot of local mythical creatures from your area and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Make it easier on me.
Okay, let's get back to it though.
Yeah, I know. I was talking as I was trying to find my place. After about an hour of falling through the water, Sirena saw several bursts of light, heard the war cries of her people, and saw the light spheres illuminating the battlefield. Battle mages. Okay, we have those now.
Yep, we have the arcane now.
Battle mages flung silver white energy bolts at Grim, while soldiers of the Royal Army used blades, polearms, or thrown weapons to take out the aquatic Grim.
You're using
Aside
thrown
from a few-
weapons underwater?
After all this time, we realized we were the League of Legends.
Oh, the misery.
Oh, the misery.
Everybody wants to be my enemy.
I want to emphasize this. If anyone has ever tried throwing anything underwater, you know how insane it is that they are doing this somehow successfully.
Yeah, I did when I was a kid.
You gotta use a torpedo shell.
Aside from a few Lurkjaw, Sirena also saw many razorfin, shark-like Grim with bone plating on their bodies and bony blades on their fins. She crashed into a razorfin, impaling it with her trident, and used palm thrusts and aura shockwaves to hurl water projectiles into the Lurkjaw. She then held her trident behind herself, blocking 3 razorfin's attacks from different directions, and used her semblance to kill them with poison. Another razorfin attacked her from the front, and she jumped up and stopped it with 1 foot, increasing her water friction to become immovable.
Her 1 foot with 6 toes.
Yes.
6 toes.
The Grim died shortly after making contact, but the people around her were impressed by how she stopped its attack completely. Okay.
This is so fucking boring.
Has this
Yeah.
character ever
Oh,
gotten
look how cool
damaged?
she is. This is the worst part of an OC. It's just like, okay, I guess they won now against these mooks. Whatever. No
Mhm.
tension.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. She killed another one. Oh, no, another one. And another one. Damn. She is so
Another one
cool.
bites the
Yay.
And she took
Okay,
no
We've
damage.
made our point.
Can we go back to the lore dump now? At least that was interesting.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
After the fight was over, Sirena turned off her semblance again and let herself sink to the ground, and the familiar deep sea sand caressed her feet. A bulky man wearing heavy padded armor approached her from behind. "Who are you and what are you doing here?" the captain of the Royal Guard asked. He had dark red hair, silver eyes, and wielded a large halberd. "I am Crown Princess Sirena Blue," Sirena answered. "You should fucking know this."
Of course, she's the fucking princess.
No, I'm pretty sure that was mentioned that she's currently queen. Like, she's in the past because she's not queen yet.
Oh, yeah, but he should still know
Oh, yeah, no,
that he's speaking to
absolutely,
his
you're right.
princess.
Yeah, that is true. Like, come on, the royal family.
I was
There's
responding
not
to I Know
too many
Nothing,
of
who I guess the brain had just dumped that piece of information because we learned about her royal heritage earlier.
Yes,
There was so much that was being shoved in our ears. Some things got shoved out the other side.
Yes, you were mentally molested too.
I honestly think that, like, in one ear out the other kind of shit with that. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I wish to speak to my father. She turned around and the captain stumbled backwards. "My sincerest apologies, Your Highness," the man said. "I did not know it was you. Please forgive me." "You are forgiven," Sirena said. "But now, please bring me my father." "Of course, Your Highness," the captain said. "Please, this way." I just think that, like, they just live in this underground kingdom completely fucking blind. Every time that they, like, bump up, someone is like, "Who are you? Who are you?"
Yeah,
They're all Dory. They're all Dory.
It's like ants.
Wait, I'm sorry. Isn't she supposed to be remembering this in like bits and pieces? Everything that's happening happens one after.
I don't know why she's remembering the unimportant parts.
I don't know.
Just say, "Oh, I went underwater, fought a battle, and then I went to my daddy."
Yeah. Sirena followed the captain through the city, which was constructed inside a massive deep-sea cave with stone pillars holding up the ceiling. The people gathered to see their returned crown princess. How can you see them? The people wore simple clothes such as shirts and shorts, and their clothes had holes in different places to not cover their gills.
Cool?
Really uncomfortable for
gills
that
in
one
different
guy
places.
whose gills were like on his inner thighs. It's very unfortunate.
Why are there gills on,
know.
like, just various parts of your body?
I don't know. I think there were like gills on someone's ankles in the show.
So, if your gills were, like, say, on the bottom of your
those were just
feet, are you
fingers.
always, like, walking on your tippy toes? Just, like, how
Ooh.
uncomfortable would that be?
No, you need
What
to
if your
knee
gills
walk.
are on your ass?
I was just about to say that.
Okay,
I mean-
but you could only walk on your tippy toes if you had 6 of them.
Of course.
I mean, efficient because gills are where things go out.
Yeah, efficient. I get it.
What if you had gills instead of eyes?
"Mommy, who is
terrifying.
this?" a young girl asked, and Sirena stopped to see who it was. The crowd parted and revealed Marina, a woman with shoulder-long reddish-brown hair and gills on the height of her collarbone, standing next to a girl with the same hair color and length, whose gills were on her back. Marina wore a light blue shirt patched in pieces in various colors and black shorts, and her daughter wore a sleeveless dark blue vest and beige shorts. Sirena started walking toward the woman. "Please, Your Highness, she didn't mean to offend you," Marina said. "I know," Sirena said, stopped in front of them and continued. Oh, that just hit
Just
me in the
stayed right
eyeballs.
I hate this whole, like, I'm going to add another attachment verb. Fucking hell.
So, Twy, honest question. Do you look at this grammar and just think, why has God abandoned us?
I mean, I never believed in God in the first place, so no.
I was making a
joke.
Man, those atheists.
Do you think God looks at his creation? Do you think God hides in heaven because he too fears what he has created?
Well, of course not. Twilight smoked God in the first page of this entire fic, apparently. Dude, you have any idea how horrifying it is to watch from a ritual circle while actual Yahweh gets smoked down from heaven? That's just horrifying.
I mean, sounds like someone who's never played Shin Megami Tensei, dog. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's just the average Persona plot.
Boy, I have played too much Shin Megami Tensei.
We all need that Yowie from heaven.
Yahweh, not Yowie.
What's the difference?
I feel like that's what like a new age church would try to do to try and like pray away the gay.
Yahweh is
it's
God.
Yahweh, not
Yahweh
Yowie.
Yahweh
was God.
Raven, I think we're in the minority
Where do we like draw the fucking line to stop? We're like at 11.
Can it be right now? My brain cannot.
Yeah, Celtic, I felt my will to live drain from all the fucking exposition.
That means we're close. It doesn't mean we're done.
Yeah.
How much of this flashback is left? Maybe when we get to the end of it?
I think it's for a little bit.
Well, we still have a half an hour until.
Oh
9
my
o'clock,
god.
so-
This fucking this flashback keeps going. It just
goes on for several days.
What
It takes place over the course of days. Why does it need to be this long?
Just keep going.
Yeah, she seems too young to remember me. However, you still have to answer her question. Thank you, Your Highness, Marina said, and Sirena turned around and continued following the captain to her castle. That was really fucking dumb. Sirena was sitting in her castle, which was constructed around an old slave merchant ship called the Crimson Mermaid. She sat at a long table facing her father, a hammerhead faunus with short black hair and gills under his arms. So,
his pets.
I hear that fucking so much.
What did he do? What did you do?
I have a question for God.
Why?
I have a question for God. Why?
As a filthy French, and I 100% appreciate that.
Yeah, 100%.
see, and this is why I always clap back with the atheism thing, because it leads to funny reaction images.
There is no God in this fic is proof.
No, Sirena is the god. She's the
No God would
OPOC.
allow this to exist.
Oh. He wore dark blue pants and a shirt, and a dark blue coat with white fur trims. The Royal Chronicler, an elderly crab faunus wearing black shorts, sat next to the king.
No, I'm not.
My daughter, you have returned, King Nereus Blue said, and asked, What did you learn from the surface dwellers? They have forgotten about magic and their eyes are not silver, Sirena answered, and both men opposite her were shocked to hear the second part. No silver eyes? The chronicler asked. Then, what is it that allows them to fight Grimm? They can use what is called an aura, Sirena answered. A manifestation of their soul, which temporarily renders them immune to all damage. Another ability of theirs is a so-called semblance, a representation of their innermost selves. I also know why they value these glowing crystals so much. She pulled out an air dust crystal. I thought you had aura too. How do you not know about aura?
I know, no. They didn't know about aura until she brought it back to them. So it's, I'm having an aneurysm because that's also not how aura works.
Wait a second. Does that imply that
Look, she brought vials of aura, and they had to inject them into all of the population.
Wait, does that mean that they not have souls?
Baby.
No, they have it. They just don't know
Soulless.
how to use it because they're idiots. And this is so. I am.
I swear, we need like a spreadsheet or something to keep track of all this lore.
No, it's very simple. Before she arrived down here, they didn't know jack shit about semblances or aura. She comes down here and is like, hey guys, we've had this thing we could have always used, and we just never did for some reason.
And they were like, oh, cool.
Do these help them in some way? King Nereus asked. Yes, Sirena answered. They call them dust, and in the right environment, they can be used to control the forces of nature. On the surface, this crystal could release a powerful gust of wind capable of knocking down weaker buildings.
Down here, when I use it, it just creates what sounds like a fart.
Crystallized
you're right,
spark
that no one knows how
MP3 with reverb.
Well then, King Nereus said, if this is all, I will have Marina prepare your coronation. Please seek out the Chronicler if you wish to have more things taken note of.
Are you stepping
Of course,
down?
Father.
Side quest time.
And all three got up and left the room. Sirena went into her room and had an old solid oak drawer in the corner and opened a secret stash hidden in one of the supports on the back. Why do you have that? That would have rotted away.
You have oak underwater?
Why would you have wood underwater?
You hear nothing about the. You know what? I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop.
Why ask questions, bro?
Just no.
It's the ship.
Hey, if we're underwater, how can there be a fire?
It's the ship of
My
Theseus,
brain
guys.
can only think so much.
Oh, what an dude, we can't get bombarded by confusion and laughter at the same time like this. I'm losing.
I got this legendary water from the legendary hunter Belle Delphine.
Hey, no, go back.
No. We gotta make sure that it's like a color of some kind. So I guess Belle would be kind of a golden color, but it'd be like Belle Dolphin. That would be should be a dolphin from this.
Yes.
Well, of course.
She reached into one of her bags and pulled out a small circular item wrapped in tinfoil and placed it in the stash. A bit over a week later, the newly crowned Queen Sirena Blue III walked through her kingdom, looking at the people and smiling at her.
I want to remind
She entered the.
This is still a flashback, specifically about one day that she's supposed to be remembering.
This happened all in one day.
This week happened in one day.
And she got it from looking at a fire.
Why are we in this flashback?
It's all.
Why are we
pertaining
here?
information.
Just to stuff her?
Oh, fuck off, Mr. Mixel.
I have been refraining from making fucking mermaid jokes, but I'm getting so close, man.
It's really hard, isn't it?
For that, I suddenly got hiccups. So we're back. We're
Fair
back
enough.
there. Thank God it wasn't me reading this time.
She entered the Magic Academy, a large building constructed around one of the cave support pillars.
I'm sorry.
That's horrifying.
Lightning. Everyone. Honest question to Lightning. Which line in the fic was your sleeper agent activation phrase? Like, honest question.
Oh,
like, what
that was
The answer
the
is
father,
yes.
because he was a hammerhead shark faunus.
The answer is yes.
I am actually dying.
Bro, wake the fuck up. Holy shit.
He not only chose violence, he became violent. Okay.
All right, I think
we got
Celtic
moves to make.
Celtic needs a damn CPAP for his breath.
Are you okay?
No.
Are we ever gonna be okay after this?
No.
I don't know. I can
Were we
feel
ever
my
okay in the
ribs.
first place?
I don't think we were. We're reading this shit, so.
No.
Dear.
I think this will continue us to step
My
well to
stomach.
live.
Oh.
Oh, it got better.
You guys don't understand. I can't see through the tears coming out of my
Ladies and gentlemen, the fan fiction night, we were experiencing technical difficulties of Twilight and Raymond dying.
No.
The fact that lightning showed the fuck up.
This is worse than we thought.
Lightning showed Raymond God. Okay, this is his religion now. He has to accept.
Guys, I think I'm broken.
Someone please save this man.
Let him die.
Continue. I will try to get my breathing under control.
Are you?
No, Twi, you'll like
Okay.
this. You'll like this, actually. Every day, Lightning thinks, please don't make me do this. Don't make me do this.
Order in the court. Order in the court, everyone.
Let's see. She entered the Magic Academy, a large building constructed around one of the cave's support pillars. The secretary is turning right on us. What?
She entered the Magic Academy. It's like we were reading a RWBY fanfic.
Why are we in Hogwarts now?
Why is Hogwarts underwater now?
What the fuck?
Okay, so clearly the God of Darkness did not snap these fools.
Salem should have won. Salem should have won.
Salem should have won.
Salem did
The
not
secretary.
win.
The secretary, a stingray faunus, wearing a white hooded pullover and white pants. Why do we need to know what everyone is wearing?
Because otherwise you might assume they're naked and showing their 6 toes.
I don't care.
We gotta know the deets.
That's the issue. They're always showing toe.
I was gonna say, we have not yet had a description of anyone's feet.
Oh.
Oh my god. Back in the foot fetish people run a good time.
Looking up as she stopped in front of his desk. Ah, Your Highness, the man said and asked. May I ask what brings you here today? I wish to speak to a diviner, Sirena answered.
Oh, fuck.
I must know how me unlocking my aura has changed who I am, so that spells can be created to support the use of aura. This will, of course, help in creating an alternative to dust that works in these conditions. How?
Oh, my brain is fucking frying. I think it's the last section, if I'm being honest.
I'm so confused now.
I'm just like, okay, I want to
doing this
invent
and
magic
that.
that'll support aura because I learned what aura. I hate this. I hate this so much.
When does a
I'm
wiki
still-
become an actual chapter?
What's this thing called again? I gotta see if it has a TV Tropes page.
Very dumb ways to die.
All right.
Family is mercy upon oneself.
We need to end this.
We got 10 more minutes still. We could do this.
Academy of Random
Yeah, add a water filter.
Of course, Your Highness, the secretary said as he held his fingertips together, creating a series of symbols around his wrists. After a few seconds, the symbols disappeared and he put his hands down again. A few minutes later, Sirena was standing in the middle of an arcane circle located in one of the halls, facing Archmage Aquarius, a man wearing a hooded yellow robe and long white sleeves. Several second-grade students were present to observe the following procedure. Why?
What does that mean?
Second
Second grade
children
means
must
different
bear
things.
witness. Is it second grade as in like they're little kids, or second grade like they're second grade years of
Is
college?
this the fucking like the
No,
prequels where they walk in on Yoda teaching all the younglings? Is that what we're supposed to be doing here?
I guess so.
Really,
say not the younglings.
What's the line? Truly incredible the mind of a child is.
Yeah.
It's a term we have.
Now, students, Archmage Aquarius said, this small ritual is usually performed only once per person, as it reveals much information about them that is unlikely to change. Pay close attention. I will be giving an explanation afterwards. He folded his hands and held them in a flat position, with only his thumbs and pinky fingers sticking out and touching the tips of the respective finger on the other hand.
We don't even know this.
Why so specific?
Because he has a very clear vision in his head and he wants to share it with the world.
Yeah, he doesn't actually want to write fan fiction. He wants to make a movie.
Yep.
He wants us to kill ourselves.
That's most fanfiction.
As with many amateur writers.
damn.
What Twilight said, not what you said.
I'm over here thinking, wait a second, I read Zero's screenplay.
Ouch. Why?
Sorry.
Why must you do this to me, sir?
I'm sorry. It's good. It's good. It's good. But the joke was too.
I don't believe you anymore.
The joke was too perfect.
No, it wasn't worth it.
Dog. Okay, are you sure that I know?
Friendly shots taken.
Man, I'm just sitting here enjoying the time. What can I do?
Oh, you listen to him, Zero. You're perfect.
Betrayal.
3 circles of symbols appeared, one around each of his wrists and one around the middle of his fingers. The circle on the ground lit up, and Sirena was surrounded by symbols, and Archmage Aquarius studied the symbols for a while. Some broke apart and formed different symbols, while others combined into new symbols. After about a minute, the procedure was finished, and the Archmage dismissed Sirena, so he could write down his findings.
Wait,
Okay, I thought you were teaching.
Yeah, what? Did you just drop your fucking class in the middle to do a fucking eye exam on someone?
I dropped my marbles over here.
Okay, well, I was teaching all these 8-year-olds how to do fucking magic, but you can go ahead and drop trowel and I'll predict your future. Go ahead, just right here in the middle of the class.
No.
Sirena went back to her castle and met with the Royal Chronicler. Okay, I guess that's just dropped.
That's a secret. It's a surprise tool that'll help us later.
Everyone in this fanfic has the tendency to just take everything in stride.
Yeah. The man was sitting in his room looking through scrolls of parchment when Sirena came in. Your Highness, what an honor, the man said and asked. May I ask what brings you here? I came to draw a map of the surface world, Sirena answered, and maybe discuss the people inhabiting it a bit more as well, if you would like to hear about them. Of course, Your Highness, the Royal Chronicler said. Here is some parchment, ink, and a pen. He handed Sirena a scroll of seaweed woven into what could best be described as underwater papyrus, an inkwell filled with squid ink, and a pen carved from old metal. Thank you, Sirena said, sat down at the table, filled the ink into the pen, and began drawing. She started at the fields her people used to grow food, then included sea cliffs, and went on to draw the surface continents.
So, look, buddy, clearly no one wanted to read your original IP, so you just stuffed it into RWBY.
Damn. That's just hard.
You know what?
Again,
am I wrong?
Not
We're learning
unlike
about
many
underwater
fanfic
papyrus
writers.
in a RWBY story.
Are we sure this wasn't some kind of Aquaman fan fiction originally?
This feels like a Little Mermaid and RWBY crossover.
This is
That's not Little Mermaid.
Yeah, Aquaman is much more suitable as a comparison.
Honestly,
now that I
this
think about it, I
feels
think
like
we have
Ruby
Little Mermaid.
/ League of Legends / Aquaman / Little Mermaid /
Lightning,
et
Skrulls,
cetera,
the
et
wing that
Let's
slacks the
stop.
greenish brown. What a
Nick,
wonderful writing
stop.
medium. Not if you have white ink.
Now, Your Highness, if I may ask, the Chronicler asked, what is the most unusual trait of the surface dwellers aside from their lack of silver eyes? They forget, Sirena answered, and the Chronicler tilted his head. I don't know what that means, he said. Simply put, Sirena explained, they do not recall everything forever. Like traces. When you...
Okay, no, I think I'm done. I had all. Good night, folks. I'm out of here. No, I can't.
What about the guard that literally forgot who she fucking was?
Maybe he was new
yeah,
to the
right.
job. Okay, maybe he was new to the job and literally
You
lived
should
under
still
a
know
rock.
who she is. They never forget. They're fucking elephants down here.
Or the child who didn't also remember her.
Yeah.
Oh no, the child you could probably say is like, what was she was gone for 4 years? She could say that this is a 4-year-old child, sure, but the fucking guard who should be at least in his 20s at minimum.
Nah, fam.
Maybe-
He was.
No, the guard was 4 years old. Don't worry about
No,
it. Just grow
no,
fast.
the guard was. You know that one guy in the office that like says he's paying attention during the like recruitment meetings and everything else, it just doesn't.
You mean me?
You Zero, you're great. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're never gonna, dude. I hope you understand. I've mastered the guilt trip, bro.
Oh shit!
You are
Oh.
screwed, dude. I come from an off the boat Greek family. You're so screwed.
Why is there an explanation about democracy in the RWBY fanfic? I don't know.
Like,
Wait, what was it?
Okay. Like traces left in the sand, their memories can be washed away by the currents of time, even to the extent that they have to read the same book multiple times to retain any of the information contained in it. That is interesting.
Oh my god, they were hinting at it earlier. That's what that meant. Thank you, Lightning. I was like, wait, no, she mentioned something about that. Like, you forgot, Sirena said. I don't even know how that works in the first place. So who's Salem, RWBY asked. And everyone just, like, skimmed past what she fucking meant there. We thought it was, okay, this writing is so fucking bad that we thought that it was just a fucked up sentence. But no, that was actually foreshadowing to this. I'm angry.
That everyone in this species has eidetic memory?
That's actually kind of okay. Props. That actually is kind of clever foreshadowing.
No.
Yeah, no, like
No, it's
not everything in this fanfic is bad. Just about 95% of it.
I was gonna be generous and
does.
say 93, but 95 is probably fair.
I wish her people does forget some stuff so we didn't have to go through this entire flashback for the last 20 paragraphs.
God knows.
Right.
God knows I am happy that humans have the capability to forget.
So, you know,
alcohol.
You know the series that actually did Species That Can't Forget kind of interestingly? Like, does everyone remember Mass Effect and your boy Thane?
Well, we'll get back to that kind of stuff later. We got to wrap this up.
Fair enough, yes.
Your Highness, may I ask what you know about their government? It is called a democracy, Sirena answered.
But it's not.
Basically, the people elect multiple individuals to represent them in a council, and that council then rules the kingdom. Every decision must be made by vote, needlessly slowing down the pace at which they can respond to a crisis, endangering lives for no discernible benefit. They are so inferior.
Holy shit.
No discernible benefit.
Is this monarchy pilled?
I was going to say,
It
first of all,
supports absolute
it's
monarchies.
a representative council, which is called a kingdom for some reason. We're not entirely sure how the fucking any of that works, if I'm being honest. And
Yeah.
fuck is this tyranny bullshit? Anyway.
I see, the chronicler said and asked. May I ask what these regions are called? He pointed at the map Sirena was drawing. This is called Vale, Sirena answered. It is by far the best kingdom. Human violence against Faunus is actually illegal, yet still present in many places. Their guards, called the police, is incompetent and self-centered, often doing more to punish those who do their job better than them than to stop the crime in the first place. This kingdom down here is This kingdom down here, Vacuo, is even worse. The council has no power over the people, and most criminals go unpunished by the authorities. Then there is Mistral. It is too big for its own good, and the council repeatedly failed to protect its people. The little island down here, Menagerie, is quite nice. I have had multiple positive experiences with the people, and will ensure their safety with all I can offer when I take over the world, of course.
What are we gonna do?
Hold up.
Dude, is she Faunus Magneto right now?
Yes.
Nah, don't disgrace Magneto like that.
Disgrace Magneto.
Okay,
Like,
wait,
that was
better
added.
question. What is the
Please,
worst run with
Lightning,
Magneto?
please put her in the
It's
Magneto
that
hat.
Magneto.
Oh my god.
Reject democracy. Embrace Aquamarine.
Okay, I have something to say. Are we sure this is a RWBY fanfic and not a World of Remnant fanfic?
Yeah.
At this point.
I also gotta wonder, like, why she considers Vale to be the best place, but says only nice things about Menagerie, when even she admits Vale has some racism in
It's the best kingdom, not the best place. Menagerie isn't a kingdom.
Yeah.
Yo, Raven,
That's
yo,
right,
okay.
people.
Yeah.
Dexterous.
Meanwhile, Raymond.
See, this is what is allowing me to
The
recognize that
show-
Menagerie is
it's the
not a
show's
kingdom
words,
in that
not his.
technicality.
Yeah, I guess so. I see, the chronicler said, pointing at Solitas, and said, and may I ask what this is? Nothing of importance, Sirena answered, drew the border... fuck you. Drew the border and said, in fact, effective immediately, none of my people are to enter their waters. The chronicler gave his assistant a nod, and the tigerfish Faunus hurried off to find the guard, or Sirena's personal assistant.
We'll end it there. Jesus
Yeah.
fucking Christ.
Man was
is this?
sighing. What a
What
sigh.
is this shit?
You know, the
Right.
thing is, it started off kind of good, and it just got worse from
I
there.
am in Spain without the A.
All right.
My will to live is gone.
You're
Thank
in
you
spin.
all so much for joining us.
Don't
I
you
hope
mean
you all
without
had a
the S?
great time. Sora Hart, Vacuo doesn't punch criminals, then it's Team Ruby's Paradise. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'm glad you had a good time. It is too late for me to keep on going, so I gotta wrap this up quickly. I hope you all had fun. Remember, Team Jack, Recovering Arcane, coming on episode 3 of season 2 on this coming Tuesday. And yeah, look forward to more of this next week at 10 p.m. So have a good night, and we'll catch you all on the flip side.